extra fresh, more correct than the next, and always come correct. See, I learned this. I was shown kindness from a man who was of an Ivy League, who used to cuss. He would seamlessly weave together curse words into understandable jutsus, and I told myself, when I get grown, I'm gonna cuss just like you. And he used to hate seeing another person touch my head, because to him, my cuss were clearly his creations. And he would put on the type of patience that only a father could display, which came to show that barbers are not just barbers, they were artists and sensitive about their shit. But the greatest lesson was just how to listen. You see, some folks will pay hundreds and thousands for counseling sessions, but under a pair of scissors and some noisy clippers. These same folks could be the middleman between God and the earth, because there are folks who don't make it to church, and some of us could use some help bearing our cross. And I was a little boy, searching for something to fill that void of there not being a man consistently around. But there was this thing about barbershops, conversations, dominoes, cigarettes, the smell of aftershave and talc, pictures scattered with various faces that stays etched in my mind. You know what, I'm gonna freestyle this. I used to go to barbershops, and I used to often ask myself, what would my pops look like? And at that same time, I would find myself getting my same mind. Sometimes I'd have to rewind week after week after week after week, because this was the one time that somebody would pay attention to me. This would be the one time that a man could hold me close. And he might not even be but 6 inches away, but it would be these 6 inches that I would feel closest the most, because there were times I used to pray for that. But it's the same breath now that I am gladly ever happy that I have met barbers. There were barbers that used to come to my house and they would freshen me up for $10. I kicked out $15 just because for me it means something to take your time out for me.
Wow. Yeah.
I know I messed this whole poem up, but I'm just going to give it to y'all just the way it comes to me.
Did you really?
How will we know?
I remember in 94. I remember on 93. Over on 39th, the first time a man gave me a number one. A number one that would stay etched in the back of my head, because to me that means, son, you can never be nothing less. That means you must always come to the stage, be your best. I will never rest. I will continue being me until my heart just no longer beats in my chest. I will refuse to ever let these words pause, because until I am no longer with breath, I believe there is no reason why to not live like I do not fear death. Right here, under these lights. Doesn't my fade look good? Dedicated to Joseph Stephen Jackson from Cut Creations. LC, one of the coolest barbers that ever used to cut hair on the Ivy League. And every other barber that stays on his hustle and helps people like me stay fresh. How y'all doing this evening?